That's very mutually exclusive.
Yeah. 2124 to 50.
Okay, so the 4 is gone.
Oh yeah, on that,
The 4 is
2020 stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got a 4 column, a 3
This is
column,
Springdale.
touch in, and a 2 column.
This is,
Well, Matt was going to do that big travel thing that of the 4-lane highway and put all these buildings in, and then he just did the 4-lane highway and said, I don't have time. Didn't put it nice as 4-way highway, there's a bunch of fields in Rogers. Alright, the new Indonesia quake is no longer in the database. Cannot be printed in high res. That's the graphic on page 2, so that might need to be changed as well. The little it says it's no longer in the database, so that's what they'll get in the back.
I heard that last night and she had to replace it. So
Yeah.
I'll tell him
to replace it. He's just
Would you mark it's on page 2?
It's on the little black and white graphic.
Would you mark just
I've
circle?
got page 3.
I haven't even got it yet.
Oh,
It's New
okay.
Indonesia quake.
Okay.
I'll put a circle around.
3, 1050.
We'll put down what I need to tell him too, please.
3, 10-4 break, Lincoln 4, 1050. 10-4, Big Brago 6, 1050. 10-4.
You ready for this page?
Mm-hmm.
Last name is spelled Adam, Mary, Edward, First name is spelled Mary, Edward, Black male, 1969, 8 of 69.
Didn't fire anywhere.
Spencer told me that we were going to be going to InDesign.
Top 19 of 50 on top of mine.
I keep hearing differently.
You or someone has talked about
John
that.
said they weren't going to.
See, everything that I'd ever heard is Quark is the better program. That's what for a newspaper. For a newspaper.
InDesign's sharp though, and it works better than these things.
What with your graphics and things? Is that what you're-
Yeah, because it's all Adobe. And what it would do is all you'd have to do if it said that there's something, you just hit relink and it would go find it and relink it. You know.
Everybody, like you said, though, I think Quark is your quote idiot
Hey, I've got your 3.
program.
Yeah.
Well, I'm becoming
Close
like
thing.
George,
Well,
and I
You know,
noticed that he's back
PageMaker
home
was
twice.
pretty
Yeah.
good, but it's got all of what PageMaker does, and it can do some of what Illustrator
How
can
about
do.
fire
You can
starts
actually
in the
adjust
kitchen? Is that
it,
too long?
you know, without
Is the
it.
kicker?
So yeah, it's got more capability than.
That's the only thing.
than
Don't tell anybody that I'm turning to George. All right, next. Bye. That's 3 Springdale. Is that right?
I've worked with it down there.
35.
I had it on my machine, and
Oh,
once you get accustomed to it,
Aubrey,
What you're
turn
telling
that.
me is once you get accustomed to doing
Yeah.
something a little
What?
not quite what
Turn that
you're
off.
used
Oh, I'm
to.
just holding it here. You
No,
think it's on?
it's recording. I see the red light.
pretty
Oh, I
simple.
didn't know it had red light.
You know, the
Okay.
It gives it away.
Those guys down there, fit.
It took you a while.
Different.
I can't wait to go to the World Series. Listen to me. Sure, coming with me and telling everyone who you are and who I am. Now, Spencer, I'd really like to help you out. I would. It's just that I got this date with this beautiful girl I'm taking her to the World Series, okay? I don't think so. Don't quite see. I can taste you. Not finding my things, all right? All right. This is a Lotus. You know what this thing does? This thing goes 160 miles an hour. Over.
Corey.
This is a nice set of wheels. Great, no keys. Who needs keys? You come in different colors? I hope this doesn't take long. I can't miss the national anthem stuff. Who are you, anyway? I'm a convict. Very funny. No, really. I'm an escaped convict. I broke out of prison to see the Cubs in the World Series. I'm serious.
Sakamoto will be here any moment. No unsolicited comment.
Diane Connors? Oh, that's her. What place?
What the hell is going on here? Didn't you get the message that we are not interested in you or your agency?
Tell her who you are. I'm, Jimmy.
Miss Connors, Walter Bentley's on teleconference. Put him through. I'm curious to hear what he has to say.
Oh, good. I can explain everything. Hello, Diane. You're looking good. Look here, I apologize for... Spencer. Walter.
Corey.
What the hell are you...
Corey.
You look awful.
Come here, Corey.
Like a bum in a costume party. You should be ashamed of yourself. Well, you looks great. And how the hell did you come up with this honey nut bakery slogan? They were really printed the billboard. Check out those buttons. What buttons? These buttons. I like that.
Walter, I don't think your corporate and personal problems are any concern of ours.
You have screwed up in every possible way.
Walter, it wasn't me.
That's not Spencer, Walter.
I'm disappointed in you, Spencer. What's happening? The hell out of me. Me too. If you think that you are getting that promotion, you failed. Totally.
Hey, all he did was lose his book. I'm the one that screwed up.
Who's this guy?
I'm Jimmy. You know what? It's true. All you do...
In college.
Oh, it's been moving. I don't want to see this. Turn it on.
Honey, it's just really up close. It's not on the rest of the room.
I want you to turn it off. I thought it was one-time picture. Come on, please.
Come on.
People from getting too close.
Enjoy. Smile. What the hell?
I had never been in love before.
Oh, God.
I thought he was the one.
Wait, you can't put this online. I guess you can make it a quick tab. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you can.
Our Christmas cards, 2004. It's now a night shot. In case it wasn't getting it. It gets bright now. You can't see the infrared, but the camera. Egg singing with the moose. She's a reindeer? I thought she was a moose. Is she just a little bitty reindeer? I thought she was a great big moose. I don't know. I can't figure him out on that deal.
Sign. He lost his parents, you know, so people are starting to go over there to retrieve young ones that, like uncles and aunts.
Well, go ahead. Oh, see the squirrel across there? Nah. I don't know if that one that's in this building is just attracted more, or I hadn't seen any real tiny ones.
I've never seen tiny ones. And you think with all the fronts we have,
Who are you petting there? Oh my gosh. Big red squirrel? No, it's a rabbit.
It's
Wabbit.
Cliff Montgomery.
Montgomery Cliff. Yeah. Yeah, he's a sweet boy. That's what he is.
Jerry Orbach died.
I'm sorry.
Briscoe on Law and Order.
Oh, yeah, the old rough edge fellow. Yeah, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, I saw him on Broadway.
Yeah.
That's a she's coming out for food. Okay.
Well, she didn't let you pet her till about a year ago, right? She's probably 5 years old at least, and she waited. She was wild for a long time.
Only before she eats.
Before she eats. Uh-huh.
She's not too keen on it after.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting phenomenon. But it's not rare, I bet.
Yep. She's hoping for goodies. And here they come.
What is that? Some kind of lettuce?
Yeah. From the lunch tray, Christmas lunch tray.
Wow, what's that onion she's got?
This?
No, what's she eating? That's tomato? What?
Carrot and apple.
Oh, she's got tomato. Yes.
Apple. Carrot.
The red thing.
Carrot.
And there. Oh, okay. I guess you're right. You know what you gave her. I just couldn't see it very well. What's that yellow thing she's eating?
Poppy seed cake.
Poppy seed cake?
Yeah.
I hope that's good for her.
It's fine.
Little straw.
And dandelion. Freeze-dried dandelions, I'm afraid.
Well, maybe she'll be able to stand a little of that.
They do seem to like them. He's exceptional at picking them out at the leaves. He's friendlier, but he'd rather eat.
Yeah, when he's hungry.
Once he gets in that mode.
Yeah.
He hasn't hunkered down for his pets lately.
Well, it's been cold. And they get pretty hungry when it's cold, yeah.
You know, I talked to Janet the other day and she didn't even mention you.
It's just what?
You actually clean yourself sometimes? You don't want to go to Hog Eye, besides their skeet shooting today. Everybody's got to wear hard hats.
And earmuffs.
Or you got some of the polar bear's glitter on your feet.
He's a mess. Yeah.
You drooled.
Well, it's been raining for 2 or 3 days, and it's going to freeze tonight, so this is going to turn into freezing rain. But we're walking out in Raymond Vaughn's backyard. Just talked to him. Said there's some water standing back here, and of course you can see the creek from right here, behind his house, and the creek's not far from being full, but still a long way to go. But if we had hard rain for 30 minutes to an hour upstream here, we would very quickly have overflow. So you can see the creek there, and there it is there. There's Hootenpyle's house, And now we're on Mr. James Strayhorn's backyard on his duplex. And you can see, of course, there's water all out here standing, not running off. It's absorbent soil, but its absorbency level's about been reached, so there's a lot of surface water just waiting for a chance to soak in one of these days. But if the creek should get out of its bank here, it would flow across this whole area. And of course you can see one of the outlets to the creek right in there. That's a small outlet where it overflows right through here. There are some rocks and trees down in there that like a small dam. It effectively dams it up, and that prevents this from running off and filling up the creek downstream as fast as it would if that weren't there. So this is basically wetland feeding into the town branch of the West Fork of the White River. And of course, as we say, there's Don Hudenpile's yard, and it when it gets up out of the banks, it goes over that and obviously stands over this also. So we're gonna have to get our feet pretty wet wearing our athletic shoes out here today. Nothing you can do about that. It's only about 33, 35 degrees right now, so we can stand it, but about 12 hours from now, in the middle of the night, I'll probably wear some big boots if I want to walk out here and see how deep this water is. Because right now there's none overflowing from the creek. You can see quite a bit of wet land here and quite a bit of potential overflow area that historically overflows when this creek gets really high. So it's really rolling right now, and like I say, on that side it's a little higher. Not much danger of overflow there for a while, but there is still the potential before this rain ends today. Of course, all the neighbors would be hoping that it ends before it can do any damage. If it gets up out of the banks, then there's always a chance of some possible significant damage. It can reach some of the houses, and that's something we don't want to see here today. But we do want to make it clear that there is an imminent danger if the creek rises very much more. Here's the main outlet for the little stream that runs through the main portion of this wetland. And as we have pointed out, well, just a few days ago, there was nothing running out of here, and there was no real surface water in this wetland except the amount that would stand and stay there without doing any harm. Up there you see a little bit higher ground through that central wetland, and if you look back here beside us, you see that the creek only has to rise about 2 feet to start, well, yeah, about 2 feet possibly, and then it would, even a foot rise, it would back this water up, and a 2-foot rise, and it would begin to raise the level up in that area. And actually back up the water that's coming down there now and fill that area to a much higher level. Uh-oh, hanging up the feet a little bit. I'm just grateful it hadn't got out and that we could even walk here right now, because okay, we're still walking north, trying to get over the obstacles are walking, and I'm expecting to jump a wood duck or something in here. This looks just like the swamps of eastern Arkansas, and it's so much more beautiful to see it here because it's so rare here. There just aren't as many natural places left of this sort in northwest Arkansas. They're all being developed, and this is slated for development very soon for the Aspen Ridge project along the town branch of the West Fork of the White River. Well, now we're looking at one of the tops of the sewer outlets, which is pretty high above the water level here. Probably, judging from out there, it's maybe 4 feet above the current flow level of the stream. It's maybe 2 feet above, possibly 2 feet above this water in the slough here. Let's look up the slough a little bit, and we'll walk that way and get a closer look. Here's some of that beautiful grass that grows in this wetland area, seemingly all on its own. You see the flow area in the center of the wetland, and you see over that way there's a parallel branch that comes down from the north. And of course, in the Khore delineation, or the delineation made for the Khore, for the engineers, for the company, by some of the engineers, for the engineers doing this project, I'm sure this was included in the wetland. But those little areas of 6-8 inches high in the middle, they're discounting. Therefore, they don't include all the overflow area in the wetland area. And it's all got wetland characteristics. It's just this is the part that most often has a flow, and this flow is coming off of this development land. Think how much greater it would be once this vegetation is gone, once this ground is covered with concrete and there's no longer the absorbent soil, because you just don't see water flowing off of this area. It's soaking in, and as I say, it's near its capacity. In one of the places you see some leaves are piled up, and there's a little drop. It's a very slow drop. That's one of the fastest flows you'll see in here, where it's compressed. You can see the effect of compressing a stream. It's wide right there, it's wide up there, but right there it's compressed. And that's what the town branch itself is going to experience when this area is paved and the water in the creek can no longer overflow. It will be going rapidly downstream, and then it will be overflowing into those low-lying yards and up near many houses, and unfortunately occasionally into some houses that are already there. It's funny how the existing houses aren't as important in some people's minds, or the existing residents of the area, as are the potential buildings and the potential residents and the potential profit to be made from constructing buildings to sell to these people. This is the area where the water comes down from the northwest corner of the development site and comes through this little bitty slough. And of course, as you can see, it'll be actually leaves there right at the northwest corner of the Moody property, and it drains the northeast portion of the development site. There it is, the outlet of this wetland slough on the east side of the town branch of the West Fork of the White River, where it enters the town branch. And if this rain should continue a few more hours, or there should be a sudden burst, say 30 minutes of really hard rain upstream here on the university campus, then we could see water over where we're standing, as well as that whole area across the creek in Don Hudenpile's yard. That's the west side of the creek to your right, and we come back over to the left and see the east side. Much lower, holds a lot of water across this whole area. Of course, water's building up, just the rain that falls on Hood & Pile's yard. So when water does begin to flow across at some point, then it very well will have a head start, because the ground's all soaked and it's ready to rise. Let's hope that doesn't happen today, but it can, and in the future it will again, because it did 3 times in 2004. If you look at this and think of this little lowland here, and imagine how it's very similar to the large bottomland in East Arkansas, the Mississippi River Delta. See how the water flows and spreads out in the lowest areas and encircles the high ground. Notice how clear and clean the water coming off this property is right now. It's all about as clear as you can imagine. But think of what you see over at 13th and Beechwood, coming off a construction site, and you will know what will be coming out of here in a few months as this project begins to clear ground. We pointed out before that the hump on the east side of the creek here is man-made, and some of these trees have grown up since that hump was built there years ago, and that was to protect the property out there. See, there's still a chance for, when it's high, it will flow around that in some places, and that'll go behind Raymond Vaughn's house and behind the Habitat for Humanity houses that have been built there. You can see we're standing here at a level where the water actually rises and stands at various times. And there you see James Strayhorn's duplex and Raymond Vaughn's little brick house, one of the nicest, newest little houses on the street on South Hill Avenue. And there's one of the Habitat for Humanity houses. And of course they are built on double row of bricks there on the back of that one at least, so it's got a chance to stay out of the flood, but if it were big enough, it could still happen, of course. Well, at the moment it appears we're a long way from having the water get high enough at the 11th Street Bridge to actually flow over the bridge. But before it gets so it'll flow over the bridge, it'll be flowing above the land across the creek that we just saw a moment ago. And so it will take a rise to do it, but there's certainly the potential to do it. See some of the stormwater outlets here. And on this side, water pouring through the infrastructure. Kind of weird, isn't it? Upstream, there's a little bit of a waterfall right up there. So you can see that water is flowing at much higher level above Hood & Pile's yard. It's dropped quite a bit from 6th Street. So up there where it first can overflow to the east side, it's much higher stream, and the banks are not as high as this is when you get up there. Just in the last day or two, we've actually filmed a little bit here, and you notice that on the south side of the southeast side of the 11th Street Bridge over the town branch of the West Fork of the White River, we have more more trash from 6th Street and the campus than we did a few days ago. Maybe not more, but it's certainly blatantly sprawled out there where it's caught as it came around this bend. If water rises anymore, we'll see new things hanging in the bushes, and maybe some of this will wash away. But whatever, it's all headed to Beaver Lake when it gets by us and gets by a few more places like this in the stream. There's constant refreshment of the trash level here in our favorite urban stream. Pretty strong flow. You wouldn't want to try to swim across that right now. It'd take you right down there. Not a good canoeing spot. If you look at the wonderful clear water flowing off of South Hill Avenue and realize just how different the water going in the town branch of the West Fork of the White River will be when this ground is all cleared to the north. Basically everything on that side of the street all the way down to across the creek behind Hudenpilot's house will be cleared for construction over the coming many months. I hope it's not immediate. It's a little hard to imagine how this street will look with really dirty water pouring down it. We've seen it a few times when there's been something disrupted upstream up the hill here, but mostly we have a lot of clean water running out of our neighborhood. That's the good news, as opposed to what's coming down the creek from the campus and 6th Street. There's a bit of snow this morning. You can see on the ground that we had a light snow during the night. The temperature was down to 15 degrees or lower. Some said 14. Let's see what's going on. You see the sun shining. Old Egg's out there in the front yard for his morning stretch. See what our thermometer says. Oh. 22 degrees. That's 0 if there's on the other side. The freezing mark. 22 degrees. Okay. Cars going very slowly by. Folks in our neighborhood like it when things go by slowly. Don't threaten their pets, their children, and their grandchildren. And it's just a lot safer. Anyhow, can you see the little snowflakes? The little snowflakes. The sun's out. The sky's only partly cloudy, but the snowflakes are falling. It's January 6th, 2005, and Old Egg says it's kind of cold out here, but he doesn't like to make mistakes in the house, so he wanted to come out for a while. He's 14 years old. He's seen a lot of snow, played in a lot of snow, played in a lot of hot weather, been swimming in many, many rivers and lakes and farm ponds and swamps, prairie wetland and mountaintops. He's been all over. So this is just one more day in the life of an old Labrador Retriever. says it's pretty cold. Yeah. Duck season, Egg. Does this seem like a good day for going duck hunting? I guess we could go. What's that cat doing? That's that old gray cat. He must have been born in this neighborhood. We know people next door about 6 years ago. He was a house cat with them for a while and moved away. Moved out of state, I understand. The lady that loved him the best and left him just hanging out in the neighborhood. So Mitch Woody adopted him, and he takes him to the vet for his shots and all that stuff, his tags. And of course, he doesn't want to wear his tags. Cats don't like those much. But old Gray is a pretty nice cat, and he knows his way around this neighborhood. Egg. I don't know how much more of this snowfall we can get, but probably not much. Should be about over. Not a very impressive snow, I guess, but it's the one we got this weekend, or this, well, what is today? Today is Thursday, 6th of January, 2005. And this is all the snow we're getting, I guess. But it was enough to say it really snowed. I understand north of here and many other areas around the country, snow's been heavy. But all we got is this pretty little light snow. So it's not enough to keep the birds from scratching in the leaves and finding a worm in the mud, or for all these days it's going to take a while for the ground to be dry again. But in the meantime, the birds will be trying to fight that frozen surface to get to the goodies underneath. You hear the factory and the train and all the assorted noises that we hear in this neighborhood, but we love them because they're the sounds of commerce, and that's what this whole area was based on. Some of the early things like the railroad coming here made it grow, and the university's presence, of course, is the best thing in the building of this community. Seems the birds are out here in this back portion of the yard, where we're almost surrounded by the wetland prairie preservation area. It belongs to James Mathias, and we hope in a few months will belong to all of us as residents of Fayetteville, to have a little nature area. And we're just in the corner, and we reap the benefits of this being an undeveloped space around us. Long ago it was just part of the farm, but for the last many years nobody's even tried to farm back there, and so it primarily provides wildflowers and wildlife, and we hope it'll be a little bitty parcel of that sort remaining in Fayetteville, Arkansas forever, and that young people can come and enjoy it and see what a little aspect of natural life is, and do it without leaving the city they're growing up in. Birds look pretty active out there. Just outside the fence, where the birds are most active, all in the edges of this little land slated for preservation. Even out in the center, there's a similar area of trees and brush. It's grown up and provides food and a great variety of cover and nutrition for these creatures. So we move forward and maybe we'll see some of them fly out. Not all that frightened of us, but anything comes into their area when they're feeding, of course, they go to safety and look us over, and then they'll be back in a few minutes. But they're not going to sit there and let you walk right up on them. If they were dumb enough to do that, they wouldn't be here. Something would already have had them for lunch, the way they're having the seeds and grain and so forth for their lunch. It's noon on January the 6th, 2005. A fat bird. They look so fat because they puff up on these cold days. And when I get dressed to go out, I tend to want to puff up with some feathers myself. Nothing like a down jacket, you say. So Jennifer.
Yes, Aubrey.
You've selected this portion, and there's even a sign that says you are the main collector of trash on this section of 11th Street.
Yes, I try to be.
And included in that, you get everything you can out of the creek, although on the annual or semi-annual or whatever we call them cleanups that you've organized in this neighborhood, you pick up a whole lot of trash and get some more people involved and do a good job. But so you've got, what is that, half a bag?
Yeah, about half a bag.
How long did you spend collecting that?
5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Most of it...
Most of it just all right around here under the bushes, washed up from the big rain in the creek.
Uh-huh.
And, on the street.
Oh my gosh. So, and it hadn't been long since it was cleaned off before, so.
No, that's just since the rain.
Just since the rain.
Just since the rain, and the creek is totally trash.
Well, We've been looking at how much is in the creek right now, and it seems to collect right below the bridge because it comes around the bend and can't quite negotiate that next bend. As the water cuts through the brush, it hangs up there, so we see the evidence.
Yes.
So that's pretty important. If we get enough people to help you, we might keep this thing clean. But
Maybe.
what's important about it?
What?
What's the best way to keep it clean?
To not throw your trash down.
Exactly.
To pick up after yourself in small spurts and not drop your trash on the ground.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Old Egg. This camera can't be doing much because it's just about out of tape. But he wanted his picture in here anyway. He likes some of the places we've been showing. When he was a lot younger, he liked to run and play in the Town Branch Bottom and West Fork and Cache River and White River and Caddo River, Little Missouri River, Bayou Bartholomew. He went there a lot. There's just